Hey everyone, so we're here with another really tasty recipe. This is kind of not so much a review because I already know this recipe tastes amazing, but Jan, who you don't see her here, she doesn't really eat mushrooms as much as I do. She won't just make them and eat them as a meal like I will. So she's not as big of a fan. So I'm gonna make this recipe and I'll have her taste test it for you guys. But if you're a mushroom lover and you've clicked on this video because you were looking how to make this delicious recipe, then you're in luck because it's super easy. So if you do rinse them in water, just do it very briefly and then use a paper towel or like a mushroom brush or something to wash them off. The other thing I want to say is you're going to notice I'm going to cut these pretty thick. I think because we're really going to cook these to get that caramelization. If I cut them a little too thin, then I mean, they don't turn out bad. I just prefer them a little thick because they will reduce down in size quite a bit. So this is about 8 ounces of mushrooms right here. So for 8 ounces of mushrooms, I like to use a few cloves of garlic. These happen to be 2 really big cloves, so that's probably the equivalent of maybe 3 or 4 normally. But really, you just garlic to your taste. I actually don't just do it for the flavor, but you'll have little chunks of garlic that are crispy and kind of caramelized as well that I like actually as part of this recipe. So if you're a big garlic fan like I am, then you can go overboard on the garlic a little bit. It's probably about a tablespoon, I'm gonna guess. Yeah, a little over a tablespoon of garlic. So I'm just gonna take some olive oil and put a couple tablespoons in there. So you can see I'm just kind of putting a little bit in there to coat the bottom. But I don't want it super deep because they don't need swimming in there. And if I need more oil, I can always add more later. And then I think it tastes better if you add about a tablespoon of butter or so. So we'll throw in some butter there and kind of mix it with that olive oil. Butter is optional. Grass-fed, pasture-raised cow butter. And then we will throw in the garlic. And then we'll add our mushrooms. So what we're going for on the mushrooms is we want to get that caramelized effect, so I like them crispy. So one of the ways to do that is to not really mess with the mushrooms. The only thing I'm doing right in the beginning is just getting the mushrooms kind of laying flat on one side so they're not stacked. Then basically we just need to let this sit and cook. I'm cooking this on about a medium heat and I'll just let this cook for a few minutes. You can see they've shrunk down considerably in size. They're sizzling real nice. And then let's just flip it over and see, ooh, look at that. That's looking really good. Yeah, look at the color on those. That is what I like to see. So I'm just going to flip them over and we'll let them cook on the other side and get about the same amount of caramelization on that other side, and they will be ready for the coconut aminos. Now you can see that everything is pretty well nice and caramelized. There's only a couple in here that aren't quite there yet. Now, if you don't like your garlic cooked quite blackened, like you can see I got a few black pieces in here. It's pretty well burnt. Some of that garlic's a little overcooked. Just add the garlic later. You don't have to add it in the beginning. A lot of people like to cook with soy sauce or coconut aminos the entire time they're caramelizing to really sear in that flavor. I have tried it a couple of different ways, and my preference is to add the coconut aminos right at the end. So after they're done caramelizing, I will put in about a tablespoon or kind of to taste, so to speak, of the coconut aminos. Let it cook in here a little bit, let it thicken up, and then I'll serve it right on a plate. So that's what I'm going to do now, since most of these are done. I'll just kind of scrape them into a pile. Oh man, they look good. I mean, even this one that's like totally burnt, that's going to taste delicious here in a minute. Just to kind of coat them a little bit. About a tablespoon, I'm thinking, roughly. And then I will just sort of stir this in and let it kind of reduce down a little. And I like to do that just because I love the way it sort of almost makes it feel like a gravy. that you've put on the top. Oh yeah, look at those. That looks amazing. I can hardly wait to eat these. Well, my mouth is watering. I'm gonna barely be able to talk, but it's actually a super easy recipe to make because you can just throw these on the grill, walk away for 4 or 5 minutes, come back, flip them over, walk away, and you'll find out, you know, based on your pan and your stove, the right time and temperature to do it. But let's taste them. So good. Just the right amount of crunch, a little bit of chewiness, a lot of good garlic flavor, the coconut aminos. Tastes so good. I was supposed to save some to have Jan taste them. These are not gonna make it. I'm gonna have to make another batch just to have her try them when she gets home, so that's how good they are. I love them.
Here we are.
So this is batch number 2. Because the first batch I made, I ate them all. So I had to hurry and whip these together for Jan, and I may have put a little bit too much garlic in this one, so we'll see. What you think?
No making out tonight for us.
If we both had garlic.
Well, there you go. And just to let you know, I'm not a big mushroom fan.
Yeah, I told him you weren't a big mushroom fan, so. You don't like it?
Those are pretty good.
Oh, they are good?
I am surprised.
You look like, oh boy.
Just because I'm surprised, these are really.
I told you.
These are really good, actually. For someone who, I mean, I really don't care for mushrooms. These are really, really good.
Did I put too much garlic in, or are you okay with that?
No,
No?
I thought
Okay.
that was really good.
Yeah, so I was saying I like to put these over rice or just with other vegetables or, yeah.
That'd be good.
2 thumbs up. All right, you guys, thanks so much for joining.
Thanks so much.
We'll be back again with another video soon.
Yeah, sounds perfect. Thanks for your support.
And click subscribe if you haven't. All right, thanks everyone.